Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Legal Talk with Madam Attorney. I am back with another video, and today I am going to be talking to you guys about how I started my own practice. But before we get started with that, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that has been subscribing to the channel, to everybody that comments, to everybody that likes. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Like, guys, honestly, thank you so much. Okay. So, on today's topic or for today's video and what we're discussing, I'm just going to take you guys through my journey of becoming my own director and owning my own practice and how it's been. Okay. So I graduated 2015. I did my articles in 2015 with this firm. I had a fallout with that director because of how certain things were done in the practice which I felt like did not really take care of me as a black candidate attorney and somewhat kind of discriminated against me. And I left. But the experience I got from that place, guys, I don't want to lie, that experience I got from that place really prepped me and gave me the confidence to start my own practice. So as much as there were things that that person or that principal did that I necessarily did not like, he really did give me he prepped me. I sort of was like confident to go and start out my own thing because of the experience and some of the things that I had learned while working in his office. And obviously the experience that I got there allowed me to get articles in the second firm that I went to and the third one. So not everything that happens to you that you think is bad is really bad, you know. So I did my articles then in 2015, 2016, and 2017. I only got admitted in 2017. One of the factors that played a big role was that when I first started my articles, I didn't know that you had to register your articles. Um, so that you can qualify to write your board exams. Your articles had to have been registered for 6 months before you qualified to register to write your board exams. I started in Jan, but my articles were only registered in March. So came August, I still had not done 6 months of registered articles. So the first year I couldn't really write my board exams August, which meant I could only start writing my board exams in the next year, which they written I think in Feb. Came the next year, I just recently started with that firm. I had abandoned the previous articles. I still could not write my board exams. There was another delay, so I only started writing my board exams in 2016 November, I think August September period, and then I wrote and then I wrote in Feb and I wrote again in December, right? And then when I wrote in December, then I passed my board exams and I got admitted that December on the 5th of December. Now, what gave me the confidence to start my practice, although I really did not have money saved, I didn't have any money saved up or I hadn't worked that long or whatever, was that when we were doing when we had a vocational program with Group 21 advocates and we had an opportunity to sit down with one of the senior counsels there, you know, we're talking about what it is that we wanted to do and when was the best time to actually go and start your own thing if you're thinking of starting your own thing or being an advocate. And one thing that senior advocate said to us that he advised that if we want to go out and start our own practices, we start them while we have very minimal expenses. We start them while we're not used to money because that way we'll be able to build, you know, we won't be frustrated by having first have earned a certain amount of money, then having to scale down back to when you're now starting practice and things are not going to go as quickly as you thought they will and you're not going to have money immediately. So I took that and I ran with it. That's what gave me the confidence to like, okay, fine. After my articles, I am not going to go work or whatever. I'm just going to go start my own thing because it was in my heart from 2015 that, you know what, this profession allows you to be your own boss. And so that's the route that I'm going to take, you know. So I got admitted. After my admission, I think I was admitted on the 5th of December. I opened up my trust account and I opened up my business account with FNB. If you're going to be practicing for your own account, you need to have a trust account where you're going to keep clients' monies, and you need to have a business account where you're going to have your fees paid into. So I opened those two up, and then I put an application with the Law Society to be given a fidelity fund so I can start my own practice. And then after that, I think we went on a December break. When I came back, I put in a resignation note with the firm that I was working for, and I served my notice for like 25 days. And on the 25th, that was my last day. I said goodbye to working for someone else, and I was ready to go start my own thing. The reason I left on the 25th is because I wanted to give myself at least 5 days to figure out how I'm going to go into the month of February, which would have been the first official month where I'm working on my own. And so I got paid about 7K because I wasn't going to work up until the last day of the month. And obviously, that 7K was not enough for me to start a practice, but I was like, whatever, I'm going to start a practice anyways. I tried doing business cards and a website because I used cheap people. So those business cards, I couldn't even use them. It was just a mess, you know. So what helped me was family, was friends, and was going to the high court. How I got my first client is I was consulting at the high court. There's a pro bono section at the high court where you've got people that come in, they want advice from attorneys and advocates. So I went there to learn how to consult with clients, because when I was a candidate attorney, I'd never really done um, consultations with client where I'm like literally selling myself to a client. I didn't know the business aspect of law. I only knew how to advise on certain aspects, or I knew how to advise on legal matters, but I didn't know how to run a law practice business, if you get what I mean. So it was a completely different ball game for me. I had never done a business before. I had never ran a business before. I had never been a manager or a team leader or whatever. So this was so new. A bit of it was quite overwhelming because I wasn't sure how to quite approach it, you know. But by the grace of God, God, God led me because He had placed it in my heart, and so He didn't leave me to figure it out on my own. He put people in my life that would sort of like give me advice and. So my first client paid me about 1,000 rand. I went back home, got my brother's laptop and printer, came back to Joburg, and I was ready to work because like I didn't even have a laptop at the time. I think I was using a work laptop and so I got me my brother gave me his laptop and printer. Then I was ready to start, right? Now I could draft, now I could print and I would also go to like pro bono. Pro bono is you go there to give free legal advice. But for me, I did it because I wanted to build the confidence of like consulting, understanding a client's issue, and working away on how we can help, or advising on how that issue can be sorted out. And so, advising at pro bono and the high courts really assisted me with building the confidence. And over and above that, I would also go to police stations where I would speak to police officers and ask them to, if there were people that wanted bail applications and they wanted after hours bail, so I would be on call for that. So I built quite good relationships with police officers, and so if there was someone that needed to be bailed out, they would call me. Friends, if they knew that there's someone that has to be bailed out, friends would also call me, to go and assist. Oh, when you're talking. So friends also assisted me. There's my husband's friend that also like really played a huge role in referring clients to me at the time. Um, I'm just not going to mention his name, but he's a very good friend of my husband's. So he also really helped with referring people to me, and that slowly built my practice. At the time, I did not have offices. I did not have a landline. I did not have business cards because the ones that I had done, they were just whack, right? So clients didn't trust me without offices and without a landline, without business cards. So I met Tafara, right? There's this other attorney I met in town, and he invited me to come work from his offices. And he said, as things progress, I would start paying him rent. So at least now I had a boardroom to go consult at. I could do business cards that had his physical address, and I also had a landline because I could use his landline. And as the practice grew, then I started paying rent at his offices. We're sharing offices, and you know And that's how I was able to then at least build a reputation that clients could trust. Because if you're working from home or you're working from the streets, clients are very reluctant to trust you with their monies, to trust you with their issues, or even pay you money to work on their matters, because they just like dodgy, dodgy, dodgy attorney from the CBD, dodgy, you know. But having offices really, really did help me, because now I would tell them, come to my offices, this is where I'm at, you know, this is my office address, this is the numbers that you can call me at, this is my cell phone if you want to call me after hours. So that really helped build, you know, a solid nyana reputation, and clients really started trusting me. And the practice grew, guys. I can't tell you Wuti how, you know, but you sort of like meet people along the way. And if there's one thing I feel like varsities should warn us about, or at least educate us on, it's building networks, solid, good relationships. Yeah, I did not have good relationships, or like I was a very introverted for a very long time, and I was very shy, and I struggled making friendships and whatnot. But this profession taught me that you honestly need to be able to make connections with people. You need to make good relationships with people, because those are the people that are going to grow your business. Those are the people that will recommend you to other people, and those are the people that are going to help you expand and grow. And so with practice, then I had to learn how to put myself out there and, you know, just get known. Ne? Um, so yeah, I think starting my own practice has not really, it hasn't been an easy journey. There were months where I was not making money. I was frustrated, you know. There were months where I made lots of money, and because your girl wasn't really financially educated, I thought it's gonna keep coming. I didn't know why there were actually dry months in business where there isn't much money coming in. And this time I had people that I was working with. I had rent that I needed to pay. I had to contribute towards phones and. But I think the grace of God is what has sustained me throughout. I'm not gonna say it's because I was smart, because I made nice business moves or whatever. God has been able to provide for me in every season of the business. He has been able to be with me, to guide me, to lead me at every point, at every corner. Whether it's a difficult period where I didn't make money at all and I still need to pay people, or I need to tell people that I'm not going to be able to pay them because one, two, and three has not happened. You know, God has been able to lead me, and I'm very lucky because I have a very good support structure. My mom and my husband have been the two people that honestly supported me from day one. I would not have been able to start if my husband was not there, because when I was starting out, my husband was able to pay rent, buy food, take care of our child, and do everything else because his income was steady as compared to mine. I would have money this month or for the next 3 months, and then the dry months, and he still has to chip in and do everything on his own. My mother, you know, she has always been that voice that's constantly saying that God is with you in this, you know, just have faith, believe in God, it's gonna work out. Sometimes you need that encouragement as a person who's an entrepreneur, who's in business. You need people that are constantly gonna support you and build you and encourage you, because there are moments where you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm failing, oh my gosh, I'm not doing it, oh my gosh, it's so difficult, oh my goodness, what the hell did I get myself into? So you don't need people that are going to criticize you and make you feel like you're not doing, you don't know how to run a business, or you're stupid or whatever. But you need people that are going to be positive voices, people that are going to keep help, that are going to pray with you, that are going to help you, because guys, business is very challenging. I'm not going to lie about that fact. Business is very challenging. There's so many things that happen. You have employees, they come with their own baggage. You must now learn how to deal with people, how to manage people, which is not easy at all. You know, you must be able to handle finances, so you must be accountable to people, because if you're thinking, oh, I'm my own boss, then it's easy to just use and misuse money and spend it incorrectly. So you need to have people that you'll be accountable to, you know. So in my case, my mom, you know, because she works with finances where she works, I would talk to her a lot, like, okay, fine, this is what I'm doing, this is what's happening, you know, how can I do this? My husband, you know, he is a strategic analyst where he worked. So a lot of times he'd be like, no, why aren't you doing this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And he kind of held me down through a lot of difficult times, you know. And yeah, man, that's business. But um would I redo it? Would I choose to start my own practice? Hell yeah. You know, I would choose to run my own practice any day, honey, because it's fulfilling to live in your purpose and what you've been called to do. And God is amazing. And my family, my church, people that pray for you, people that pray with you, because you need faith. You need faith. The only way you are able to do things in business is by faith. You need faith. You need God. You need good relationships. You can't have everybody yapping in your ear, but you need a few individuals that are going to sit down with you and pray with you and talk to you when you're going through a rough patch. And there are a lot of rough patches. There are a lot of them, but there are also a lot of good moments and a lot of successes as well. So yeah, man, 4 years into business now, we're still going strong. We thank God. We have a staff complement now of about 8 people that we work with and officers, and we are we are still trying, we are still trying to build, we're still trying to build a solid business. And I'm still learning. There are things that I'm learning this year, and I've learned to be very patient with myself. I've learned to be very kind to myself, and I've learned to understand that, I am not doing this on my own. The Holy Spirit and God, is the driver of this ship. He put the idea in my head because he saw that for me, and he has sustained me through it. There have been a lot of difficult times, but I thank God for the support structure that I have. So if you are going to go into business, make sure that you do have a very good support structure. You can do it, and you don't need to be from a well-off background. You don't need to have a lot of money. In fact, if anything, I would advise that start your business while you still have nothing, because you're not used to money at that point. So it's not going, and you don't have a lot of expenses, so it's quite easy to maintain your life. And if there's one piece of advice that I also got from the people that I worked with at the time when I told them I was going into business, they said to me, make sure that you keep your expenses as low as possible. In fact, I think this was my principal from the first firm. He said, if one goes into business, make sure that if you can stay at home, drive a van if you can, or whatever, stay at home if you can. Keep your expenses as minimal as possible, then build, reinvest every cent that you get into the business. Don't be quick to want to be seen with you are in business. No, reinvest all that money back into business, and you know um and trust God. Do your best and leave the rest to God. Do your best and leave the rest to God, and be very patient with yourself, and trust that God is going to intervene, and He always does. So, how I'm doing it is, it's the strength, it's God, it's my family, it's my husband, for always being just so supportive and, helping me to push the dream. So yeah, man, that is my story of how I then opened up my own practice and how it's been running my own law firm. The feeling is good, you know but it's also very challenging, so you really do need to build thick skin, and be able to deal with people. Not everyone is going to like you, not everyone is going to say good things about you, not every day is going to be fun. That is just how business is. That is how it is. Not every day is going to be, no. Some days are going to be really difficult. I've had nights where I went to bed crying, you know, and yo, guys, but you can do it. You can do it. I think there's a video that I did speaking about building from the ground up, and understanding that you may not see results immediately, but you keep pushing. Days are not the same, your journey is not the same as the next person or your peers, but keep pushing, keep doing what God has put in your heart, and you will definitely succeed. Yeah, man. And a lot of times people think that okay, this is the question I get the most. So naturally I'm a very like soft person, I'm very soft spoken. People are like, how on earth are you running a business because you're like so soft spoken and whatnot? And I always say that, it's you don't need to be this hardcore person in order to be an attorney. You just need to be able to pay attention to detail, to listen to your clients and understand the assignment that you're given and what it is that you need to do. And when you niche down what it is that you're doing and you understand the assignment and you understand that you've listened to your client, you understand the process and what it is that you need to do, it's doable. So yeah, man, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for um subscribing to the channel. Please stay tuned to more videos. I am going to be doing more on some of the things that I've learned as a business person and what has kept me going. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in my next video.